Yeah, it's working. We're ready to go. Okay. So welcome everybody. I'm just going to share the presentation and we'll get into this. Yeah. So I'm Nicolas David at the Center for Conscious Ascension, and this is a subcontract reading webinar, how to help others transmute their karma into the gifts of service. So I'll say a little formal bit here, and then we can be more relaxed. So, because some guys are going to watch this cold on YouTube. So, have you noticed how people turn away from the biggest karmic challenges they face in their lives? And no matter how hard they've tried, is they just too painful for them to face, as they lack the spiritual map of life of how to overcome them? Okay, how many of you guys have seen it? Put your hand up if you've seen that. Yeah, it's pretty much sums up life, really. And so this webinar is about how you can help others identify these karmic patterns and how to go about transmuting them. Okay, so they can deliver their gift of service to the world, a special thing they've been looking for their entire life. So any new guys just joining us on the panel, on the attendee room, if you want to be upgraded to be a panelist, you can switch your video on, which is purely voluntary. Just put your hand up and I'll see it and I'll move you over, okay? All right. So I want to find out, well, let's talk about why you are here. I'll say why I'm here, okay? I'm here because I had a subcontract reading in 1990 with Frank Alpha, the Melanie, do you have a video? You got your hand up? No. Okay. So I received a reading. I'd read this just a sec. Okay, just doesn't need video. Okay, you're fine. I got it. So I had a reading from Frank Alpha back in 1990 of the subcontract reading, my subcontract reading, where he took my birth certificate name and he converted it into Hebrew sounds and numbers, and he explained my entire life over an hour. And that was one of the more profound moments I've ever had. And this is how I got into this work. I asked him, when are you going to teach this? I was at my first spiritual workshop in America I've ever been to. He said, well, I'm going to teach this in about 6 weeks' time. So I went along to his workshop called the Carousel of Growth 2 and learnt this work and brought it to Europe. And I've been giving readings and teaching this work ever since. That's how I got into it. And I realized it could help people completely change their lives and move out of a lot of pain, which is probably what brought you guys here. And so it became a sort of a major mission. It was a major discovery to find this work. Okay, so I want to find out why you guys are here, because this is a very fluid webinar. It's whatever you need. So if you put it in the chat, or preferably just talk to me with the microphone on, if you're in the attendee room, or you guys in the panelist room, being brave souls to show yourself, I can then do my best to give you what you need from this. So if you're on video, just wave at me. And yeah, let me just say where you're from, so I've got some idea, and how did you find out about the work, and what do you need from this webinar? Okay, because this varies a lot what we actually do depending on what you guys want. So Joseph, go for it.
Hi, Joseph from Singapore.
Yeah.
It's close to midnight
You're
over
very dedicated.
And good day to all of you. So, I mean, I'm drawn to this webinar. It's because, I read a book, and I've also been on this path of spiritual discovery, and always having this really compelled to help people in terms of healing in some sort. So when I read the book, it really spoke to me at many levels. And then and when I sort of decoded how my soul contract was, it also brought new insights to me. And I felt that going deeper in this would be able to sort of be of service to other people as well. So I was really intrigued and signed on to this webinar to find out how to learn more and to experience along this process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, who's next? Catherine.
Hello, everyone. Catherine from Philadelphia in the US. With karma, I feel I have a lot of karma of my own and I want to have nothing to do with it. I avoid it, but I do like doing other people's charts. And I bought the book, of course, and I do practice readings and took the level 1 of the soul contract readings. And I like helping others, like telling others what they can do with their karma. So just want to learn more and by the same token, learn about myself and heal my own things, or just do the opposite of whatever's happening and finally get over the karma and see what my gifts are and move there. So this webinar, it seems relevant to me. I'd like to learn more of how
Okay.
to exactly get rid of that. Or
All right.
deal.
Thank you. All right, who's next? Anyone else want to share what they need from us? There's 2 of you. Okay. Gitty, do you want to
Yes, I can't do video today because I'm like on a farm,
okay.
but I'm actually still debating whether to take the Divine Healing Seminar. So I just want to like gather a lot more information and get a lot more of the feeling for everything before I do that.
Okay.
But yeah, I've read the book. I've done readings for people. I think it's super interesting, and I want to like step into my place.
Okay, thank you. Welcome back. All right, who's next? Okay, Yvanis. Yanis, is that how I say it? Yvanis, yeah.
Yes, Ivanis.
Yeah,
I
great.
am Eva from, but I live in Zurich, Switzerland, but I'm originally from Venezuela in South
Okay.
America.
Yeah.
Yes, I am here because in 2017, I did that webinar with you. And in that time, I feel how my heart opened. I feel the energy. I feel alive from the first time in my life. And now I just started from that day a journey of spiritual awakening. And I starting to develop all my gifts and I started to be myself. And part of being myself is being in the service of other persons. So that's what I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, who's next? Prem?
Yeah, hi everyone. Unfortunately, Nicolas, I haven't taken your course or even read the book. I'm based just outside of Toronto, Canada, and I've seen, I'm on your email list, so I've seen some of the stuff that you've sent and you've shared, and I thought today would be a good day to start this and to just get more information. I'm actually on the path. I do healing work with people, and so I'm just trying to get more more power and more tools and more ability to help others and help myself in the process as well.
Okay, got it. Welcome. All right. Anybody else want to contribute put their intention towards what they want with us? And switch your mics on, you guys, or just put it in the chat. I'll read it out so it gives me an idea. If someone else has put their hand up. Melanie, you put your hand up.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I live in Vermont, USA, and I do hypnotherapy. I do tarot readings. I felt like taking a deeper dive into numerology would help with my readings, and also one of my Reiki students showed me the book, and it looked so dense and complicated. I looked to see if there was a class, which I'm so happy that there is a class because I think it'll be much easier for me to digest and maybe give some structure to my readings and more more depth and clarity to help people.
So you're giving readings from the book already, are you?
I do tarot readings,
Okay, all right.
and there's an element of numerology in there, but it's kind of one that I have just tiptoed around because it's complex and I just want a good teacher. And I do past life regressions and I'm an end of life doula. I do a bunch of things and I just think this would help give structure around that kind of coaching.
Yeah, it'll help you a lot. I mean, the tarot is the frequency, the 22 arcana are within the system because these 22 Hebrew letters we use. And this will, the 22 Hebrew letters, frequencies come out of the movement of Great Spirit and as it created this universe. And so this is at the very highest level. It's pure God frequencies we use with this, which is why it's so powerful and why it's radically completely different from conventional numerology. So you can give people the deepest picture of why they're here. It dissolves a lot of the ego so people can actually get to the truth of who they really are. They can remember and they can get on with it and live a lot more fulfilling life, basically, and transcend the illusions of the ego, which is what the system shows you what the ego is creating. So therefore you can see what it's finally doing. Okay, so it's very powerful like that. The class, the book actually is to address that is a subset of the manual we use for teaching birth readings in the soul contract level 1 class. There's only so much you can put in a public document. Some of the things interpretations are quite powerful. We only talk about in the class. But the class is not all about learning more about the book. The class is sitting in the field of the energy for 5 days where you become the work, not know the work, you become it. So it's full experiential learning. Okay. So you will feel the energy, Melanie. You'll feel it, you'll become it, your DNA will activate, you'll remember how to do this. And we spend the first 3 days using the aspects in your charts. And we teach it by you relating what your direct subjective experience of those numbers are. And that energy, no one will forget that. Because you can read a book, but hearing someone describing a karmic 9 or whatever numbers they are is very, very powerful. You'll never forget that. So after 3 days, you become the work. And then the last 2 days, we have a break of a day, so you can integrate it. It's very strong, setting those frequencies for 3 days. Then we spend the last 2 days where you will give and receive readings. You'll practice giving and receiving readings with other members of the class, and you'll discover that you have become the work. And you haven't had to try and cram everything into your left brain. You've become it. It will just come out of you. It's about the best way I can describe it, isn't it, Catherine? Because Catherine's on the class. And you become it, and you become the living, breathing energy of the work. That's what we do in class. So it's another quantum leap beyond what the book is. Okay, so I'll just make it clear because some people read the book and think I'm going to go deeper into the book. We're not. You're going to go far beyond that with it. So you will live and breathe the energy of it. So, and you'll start speaking in numbers to other practitioners. And it's like a different language, isn't it, Catherine? So the way this thing works. Does that help, Melanie? Give you an idea what it can do?
Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you for that
Yeah.
description.
Yeah, that summarizes the class. And we have a lot of fun with that. Okay, anyone else want to check in with their intention here? So I'll get a feel for what people want. Just put your hand up or switch your mic on. Justina? Okay, you can just unmute on the bottom left.
Yeah. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, loud and clear. Go for it.
Yeah, perfect. So hello, everybody. So I've been guided actually to your work for everything. It's like light body integration, then divine master healing, then maybe soul contract. So I am more like, okay, where to start? Maybe because I believe I am pulled to be a light worker. That's what I believe I am. So I am very pulled into the light body sessions, all of them, to do all of them first, but I don't know if that's the guidance to start there and then maybe go to the dive in master healing, because I work with clients too. And then maybe soul contract in the end, because that's kind of the least pull that I feel. So maybe guidance over here I would appreciate. Thank you.
Well, I'll describe how the three technologies that cutting edge technologies we use work, then you can sort of work it out. How you start and engage with it is entirely up to you. But soul contract reading is like the beginning. It's a spiritual map of your life or your client's life, where you can lay out the latent potential for an entire lifetime, so the client can see why they were born and own that and action that, and start spending 80% of their effort on 20% of things that matter, which is what will come up in this reading. Then it sounds like a lot of you are therapists already. It will give you the core underlying structure to understand what is generating, what's causing all the symptoms that are presenting with your clients or your students if you're teaching them. And once you know what's generating it, and once you understand this knowledge, then you can apply your different tools and trainings and therapies to help address that much more efficiently. So that's the map, Justine. And the light body integration work is awakening work. It's not healing. It's about removing the programs, beings, and structures that create the sense that we're small, limited human beings, far, far away from God. A bit like Neo in the Matrix, asleep in his tank of goo. Okay. It allows us to open to higher consciousness, to remember that we are vast multidimensional beings of light who are just pretending to be human, having this limited experience, to see if we can wake up and get back to God and consciousness. The light body opens you up to your true nature, spiritual nature, and it prepares the pathways to turn you into a being of light as we ascend, as we rise in frequency. In divine healing, Master Key, that's work that Almira Ariel Hilaire, who developed, created this business with me, she developed that to clear our issues. We had some severe karmic 9 issues, severe disempowerment. So we needed a very powerful tool to burn through our egos, so then we could help you guys. So that basically clears the lower frequency ego programming created by the soul contract in the body, and which makes it very hard for the higher frequency parts of you to embody from light body work, because your body has to be at a high enough frequency to handle that pure love that comes in. So it raises the frequency of your body, so more of soul components, higher frequency parts you can embody, and it creates a positive feedback loop, so that your system can basically rise in frequency and rise in consciousness. And as you embody more of your higher self, more of your mission happens, because this is like a holographic projection, this reality, a third dimensional hologram. And the more of your soul that you can embody and express, more of the higher self components that come in, the more you'll create your reality and carry out your missions. Does that help, Justina? There's these 3 main components, the way it's designed this way in the business.
Yes, thank you so much. So I guess, yes, I was guided for the right page, because I'm going to use all of them in that case.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
So it's not either or, it's a question of the way you decide how you want to engage with the work is what opens your heart the most in this moment. So just try it on in your heart. This applies to all decisions in life. In the moment, what should you have to eat, let alone what should you study? Try it on your heart. What feels right? Should I come to this training at this date or that other one? Don't try and figure it out, because your soul has a plan. It has what we call the spiritual signature, where it's going to indicate through the body sensation what is the next right action. And if you surrender to that and let go of the mind, what will happen is your life will become a lot more graceful. Doors will open, things will flow. There is a solution to every challenge. You just got to listen to your body, listen to what opens the heart, and you'll see it'll work out fine. Okay, it doesn't mean it's going to not be challenging, but it's a lot easier trying to figure things out and getting stressed out by it. Okay. All right. Anyone else want to?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That help? Yeah. So anyone else want to introduce themselves, what they need from this? Or we'll get into the rest of the presentation. Just put your hand up. Also switch the mic on. No? Okay, we'll get into the rest of it. So a little drink. I'm doing a lot of talking today. And feel free to ask questions at any time, okay, either in the chat or preferably just talk to me. See, it's quicker. But now we know why you guys are here. So let's get on to this a bit more. Just going to adjust the it's here. Okay, so we come here as light workers. There's 2 or 3% of the population is made up of souls like us who are who've done this before, more experience than the other 97, 98% of the population who are what we call the ground crew. They come to go to much more sleep because they have a different learning to us. We come here to help awaken them with our frequency and our healing tools and our gifts. And the key thing with an awakening light worker is they're always looking for the secret of why they came. How many of you guys felt there's something that you special you were here to do, and no one will tell it to you when you're a kid? Put your hand up. Feel that? There's something very special. Okay, that comes because it's the gift of service, and it's only revealed to you when you're ready. Because it was told, if you were told too early, then you may run away from it. If I was to be told I'd have a best-selling book and global teaching business and be on Gaia.com, I wouldn't have believed that 20 years ago. It would have been unthinkable. I was a struggling alternative therapist in London, barely paying the bills then. But things have changed. So people ask, well, what's the meaning of my life? Why am I here? What's my spiritual mission? And they look outside themselves, trying to find this thing. But actually, it's within us. It's in our karmic patterns. So our karmic pattern, the strongest lessons we have, are basically our lessons here. Catherine, you got your hand up. Have you got a question, or are you just putting your hand up for some other reason? No? Okay, I'll keep going. Can't see the chat. Okay. Bring the chat over here, I can see it. So our karma contains our spiritual gift of service, because what happens here is that the law of attraction, you're all familiar with. There's another law, the law of opposites, the one they didn't tell you about. Okay, so what happens is that initially in life, through our karmic patterns, we get everything we don't like. So we get really clear what we do like as a result of that, because we want to move away from what's painful. And so our karmic pattern shows us, because we avoid it, it's asking us, inviting us to turn into it and to feel the disempowerment or the unworthiness, lack of trust, whatever the issue is. Because if we turn into it and bring consciousness, feeling consciousness to it, it'll turn into our gift of service. For example, my karmic patterns are, physical karma is a 3, that's feeling unworthy to be loved. So I was very shy as a child, but I had to overcome that and overcome unworthiness to be loved in order to become a teacher that I am now. To be worthy of showing myself. I was very shy as a child. And my spiritual karmic pattern, it's a 9-9, which is great power. I was very disempowered, felt like a victim most of my life. And it was really bad. And I had to overcome that to come into my power to catalyze change in those who work with me. Okay? So I turned my karma into my gift of service through the process of healing that karma. That's the first thing. So your karma is in your face all the time. So is your gift of service. If you just realized it was actually there. Okay? And so people don't expect that answer. That's actually how it works. And so how can people get to that gift of service? Well, they have you guys, potentially. Okay? My focus nowadays is to train as many practitioners as possible to go and answer that question for the millions of light workers out there. And learning how to do this work, holding space, decoding the secrets of the blueprint of life for spiritual seekers hidden within the sounds of their birth name that create their reality, will empower those light workers to overcome their karma, the thing which is why I'll find you in the first place. I'll find you in this work at the right time. Express more of their talents, achieve their goals, and most importantly, if they work through all these guys, karma, talents, and goals physically and spiritually, then they've got a good chance of manifesting some or all of their soul life purpose. It takes a lot of work and consciousness to do that. Most souls come back with similar names many times to actually burn through all the issues. But with this work, you can go a lot faster. So this is, I'll draw a diagram. So this is time. This is percentage complete of the soul contract. If you don't have this work, you're going to be driving around in the dark, lights off, crashing into things, and progress is very slow in terms of working through the contract. If you have the soul contract, lights are on at night, you've got your spiritual sat nav, which is the soul contract reading work, and you're going to go through much faster because you are focusing on what's important and you can see where you're going. You know where you're meant to go. So this is a vast difference that occurs. It's night and day, literally, what happens here. So how does this work? This is for the people who may not be fully familiar with the work. Most of you probably are, but I'm going to say this. A lot of other people are going to watch this on YouTube later. Basically, we take the sounds of the birth certificate name in whatever language it's in, and we convert it into ancient Hebrew, 22 ancient Hebrew letters, and we decode them on the Star of David. This is the gateway of consciousness. And this is how it works. All of us here have never been incarnate before. We are unique conscious personality expressions of the soul, and the soul has a different one each lifetime. We are like the ego avatar. Our soul climbs into us, into this body, or creates this body, and our personality is created, and we have a free will choice to do whatever we want with this lifetime. And so the soul's laying out this potential, and we come through this gateway of consciousness onto the earth plane. Okay? And we have looked at all our past lives, our soul has, and determined what name we need to have, the family we need to be in, the genetics, to have a unique experience on the soul's behalf. So the way we understand what that experience is that we have a physical triangle. This is the formation of the personality, how we interface with the world. We spend the first 5 cycles of 7 years, 35 years, predominantly in this triangle. And between the ages of 35 and 42, the 6th cycle of 7 years, or earlier nowadays, the spiritual triangle activates. Becomes more predominant. It's always been there. This is the midlife crisis or the spiritual awakening. Because the soul's hoping that you've established a good physical foundation, and it's going to build this spiritual triangle on top, get on with the mission. And within each triangle, there's 3 aspects. There's karma, talents, and goals. And so karma is a set of unresolved past life issues that we bring into a negative context of our life, the law of opposites, all the stuff we don't like, so we can get to head in a specific direction to actually bring our gift of service in the physical world out. Physical talent helps us overcome it if it's a good match, latent, but it activates, and as they get stronger, it helps us move to the physical goals. In the spiritual chart here, we have spiritual karma is how we disconnect from higher consciousness. And the spiritual talents, if they're well matched, will help us open to higher consciousness to bring our spiritual connection into the body to express in the world. And then these spiritual talents, as they activate, will then help us achieve our spiritual goals. And if we consciously work on all the 6 outer aspects, which you can help people do once they've had a reading, over time, they will accelerate the amount of each aspect that they've worked through. And then that will contribute towards manifesting the soul destiny. Okay? And the soul destiny is revealed layer by layer. You'll get revealed. Have you guys noticed that you only what's revealed to you is plenty for you to cope with at the time, but you don't get any more than that. So you're going to get a layer of it, and then a few years later, you get another layer, and it builds over as you progressively work consciously through the outer aspects here. Okay. So this is how the mission is revealed to as we awaken, because we have to go to sleep in consciousness so that we would engage with this reality as if it's real. Okay. So, any questions on that so far? And there's a question here, Joseph.
Yes, thanks. My question would be that because there's this physical as well as the spiritual side of it, and because you mentioned the physical part will be the first maybe about 35 years, would that mean then if someone would be, let's say, 60 years in terms of their physical age, the physical aspects would be less apparent, be it physical karma, physical talents, as well as physical goals, and then that person is already more, I would say, more affected by the spiritual side of things? Is it necessarily the case?
What happens is that all the aspects are running simultaneously from the time you were born. Okay. All right. But what happens is that this is time, this is intensity. The physical numbers are more intense initially because you have to learn how to be in the reality. And the spiritual numbers are less intense, but they're still running. Okay. But the emphasis moves from the physical to the spiritual over time. Okay, so this is between 35 and 42 or younger. Okay. So it's all running at once. It's a question of the emphasis. So there's a switchover around about 35 to 42 where the spiritual numbers are more predominant. Okay, doesn't mean you have to wait till you're 42 for them to even start. They're all running at the same time. Okay, just the emphasis shifts. Because if the physical numbers have been worked through, when you spend a whole lifetime on working through the numbers, because there's finer and finer layers of them, you never stop. Okay, just the emphasis shifted to more spiritual later on. Okay, after this transition to the more spiritual side. Does that help?
Yes, that does. Thank you.
Does that clarify that one? Yep. Okay. All right. Any other questions on that? Anybody? No, we're okay. Okay, so let's keep going. So I'll do a little demo, especially for people who are not new to the web. Who would like a demo of their birth chart, so I can explain more how this works? Prem. Okay. Do you want to switch your mic on there?
Yeah, I'm on that.
So where are you from originally, Prem?
I was born in Trinidad.
Okay. And is that the birth name?
That's my full birth name is Premchand.
Okay, let me and what was the original ethnic group you came from? What's the culture you come from? So I understand the languaging.
So yeah, I'm Hindu, so it would be Hindi or Sanskrit based name.
All right. So this is the subcontract software, subcontractreader.com, which you can generate charts with. You can generate 4 free charts with us. And then I'm going to put the current name in for now.
Oh, you want? Okay, yeah. That's
so it's a label for you.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I can't see it very clearly. It's kind of tiny, but it looks okay.
Prem Ruplal, was that right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the birth name? Prem.
Prem.
Yep.
Chand. All one word. Prem.
Yep.
Chand.
Chand. And it's Ruplal was the surname. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. So the first 2 parts, if I can see it clearly, are just one word. So you can make them all together. Yeah.
Okay. Premchand Ruplal.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
You got it. 100% correct. Yeah.
All right. I won't put your birth date in because it's a public video. No, don't say the birth date. I don't want to put it in because it's a public video to protect your identity.
That's right. Correct. Yes. Yeah.
We're not going to do You've consented to do this, and we'll go where to put the consent date in, which is 5/6/24. Okay, all right. Right, so I'll show you how we generate the chart. Okay. So what we've done here, guys, is that we have got to find my pen. We've taken Prem's name and we've put it into a software, and the software has converted it to we use 22 ancient Hebrew sounds here, the original 20 frequencies of God that created creation. And basically it's converted it, like, for example, CH is one sound, it's Ches in Hebrew. So it's one Hebrew sound. It's converted to the Hebrew sounds, and the Hebrew numbers which are inherent within it drop out for us to work with. And we're going to basically analyze them here on the software. The reason for the birth chart, the birth date, is just so we know the age and star sign. That's the only purpose of it. Okay, it's not critical to the meaning of the chart. Okay, so because what I'm interested in, we're interested in the cycles of 7 years, which is why we do that. So how old are you, Prem?
I'm 62.
Okay. All right, so you're nearly at the end of the 9th cycle of 7 years. That's what I'm interested in most here. So we take these numbers and we start allocating them at physical karma. We go around, we go 17, 25, 13, 8, 1, 17, 25, 13, 8, 1. So, then I go round and round the star till I use them all up. So I've used up all these numbers here. And then what I do is I add them up. So your physical talents is 5 plus 20 plus 12 equals 37. And because 37 is greater than 22, so I only have 22 frequencies I can work with, which are channelings from God, or from the soul of Moses to Frank Alpha, my teacher, who channeled this through originally. I need to reduce this to the first number between 1 and 22. So I go 3 plus 7 equals 10. So it's one number, it's a left-hand number. I need the right-hand number, so I go 1 plus 0 equals 1. Okay, so I have a combination number. So it's an English letter, which is just a label for a Hebrew frequency called Yud, and 1 is for Aleph. Okay, so it's not like conventional numerology at all. We need a language to discuss this with. So in the physical talent 10-1, Prem is having an experience of moving between a pure 10 and a pure 1, plus every blend in between. And so that's called a combination number because there's two numbers there. In physical karma, the total is 43. That has to be reduced because it's greater than 22. So 4 plus 3 equals 7. 7 plus nothing is another 7. So that produces a double number here. Okay. So there's less room for expression. So we figure out all these other numbers accordingly. And we take the physical numbers here. We place them on the top half of the table. Spiritual numbers on the bottom half. And then we add up the two columns, get 75 and 30. So 7 plus 5 is 12. It's the first number less than 22 that we come up with. 3 plus 0 is 3. So 12, 3 becomes the soul destiny. And then if there are 4 or more of the same number in the chart, then it becomes a dominant vibration, and it has a channeling from God that is like an overriding theme in your life of why it helps you remember why you came to Earth. So I'm going to give a very brief reading here of Prem. So what's the most important question you have about your life, Prem? This is how we start to figure this out. And then that'll leave me in what to say here.
Just my ultimate purpose is really, I mean, I've been on this path of healing and helping others for a long time, but I just want to get clarity on if I am actually doing what I should be doing.
Okay. All right. So in physical karma and spiritual karma, it's saying that there's a heartbreak that's happened to you. So what caused the heartbreak? This is saying it could be to do with the father. Okay. There's some sort of disempowerment around a parent or in the family or with the masculine, or maybe even the feminine over here. What happened to you, as much as you're prepared to share?
That's, as far as I know, with my parents, everything was good. I am divorced, so I'm not sure if that is something that is impacting it. Not sure.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is the split of the masculine and feminine aspects of God through the divorce here. Okay. So how was your childhood in terms of how was that for you?
It was great. It was great. I grew up in Trinidad, and I had an amazing childhood.
Okay. So this is saying that heartbreak in this life or another lifetime. And the 7 here, are you indecisive, Prem? Were
Sorry,
you
am I?
indecisive when you were younger?
Not really. I mean, not to any extreme extent that I can recall. I mean, I felt I made, I was able to decide the things that I wanted to do, and I just got on with them. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So do you feel that there's a hidden part of you don't show the world and you put a public face on to the world at times?
Yeah, maybe when I was younger, but not so much anymore. I feel like I'm very true to who I am now, but maybe when I was younger, and in the corporate world, I worked in the corporate world for a long time. So,
okay. So this is saying that there's a inner child who feels unsafe to show his true self to the world. So he puts on a facade, a public face, and has everyone look at that public face. Okay. And to keep him safe. So what you've done is you've dropped this facade and you're showing your true self, which is the whole lesson, because you have it in both physical and spiritual karma. So your job's to become purely authentic with an open heart and show the real you, how you truly feel and think, which you couldn't do in the corporate world. This is saying, this is the patriarchy here. It probably wasn't safe to show your true self in the corporate world, was it?
no, I mean, it just wasn't appropriate back then, talk about healing and spirituality and all that sort of stuff. Nobody could connect to those thoughts, right? Now it's different, but back in my day, it was completely a sort of a hidden topic, so to speak.
Yeah. So you were hiding away. Okay, so your job is to show your true self, and as you heal the wounded heart, whatever wound, we all get heart wounds of some kind. Your job is to show the true you, drop the facade, whatever's left of it, and then as you express your true authentic self, because this program believes it's not safe to show my true self, but actually when you do, if you discover that it's quite safe, everyone opens their heart around you when you express your truth.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So you basically express your true self here. And what happens is that you build a network of like-minded people, both personally and professionally. So you're here to build networks. That's the mission, Prem, of like-minded people. Build a team to work with you, build an audience, build a social network. How's all that been going?
It's just starting up. I mean, I think I've been doing that over the last couple of years since I left the corporate world. So I believe things are starting up to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the key to success, to build this new life that you're building. Okay. And the physical talents is a 10-1, and that is all about bringing the balanced masculine and feminine aspects of God. Okay. Resolving the wound of the divorce, to have Mother, Father, God within you, reconnect and unify, and to disseminate healing and knowledge in the world. You're basically here really to serve the spiritual energies. So you may have found the corporate world quite hard because it's not designed to serve anyone except shareholders to make money. Whereas
Correct.
it was probably completely against the grain for you to stay there, I would say.
Correct. Yeah. No, I stayed for quite a while. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's how I felt actually. I felt it was not my place.
Yeah. So you're here to service spiritual energies above anything else. Service first, and then you earn a living as a result later on. And physical goals is a 14-5. 14 is reflect being. And that is all about being a multidimensional mirror, okay, that allows you to mirror to others who they truly are, and by having intense relationships with them. Okay. And you find out who you are as a result of being in relationship with others. How's that been going?
Yeah, that's actually quite real. That is quite real.
And the 5 here is where you can sense when people aren't speaking the truth. And the energy drops. So you're here basically to speak pure truth. But it probably got you into a lot of trouble when you were younger.
Yeah. Yeah. Much younger, yeah.
Yeah. So you're here to be a pioneer, bring pure psychic, etheric, visionary energies in from spirit and turn it into a grounded reality. The spiritual talents here indicating that you're here to set up some form of spiritual center, to take spiritual energies and turn them into a physical form. So have a high frequency space in the physical reality for others to come into to learn about and achieve their goals. And the 1 here is going to disseminate healing knowledge into it. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not sure I understood that one. Can you just repeat? I'm not sure.
You're here to take spiritual energies, okay, bring them into a physical form, create a space, could be a physical or digital space for others to come into to learn about and achieve their goals in life.
Absolutely. Okay. So it's like creating something and materializing or making it physical. This whole spiritual concept, making it physical, that more can connect to it. Yeah. Interestingly enough, that's exactly what I'm working on right now. So there you go. Yeah.
Okay. And so what form is that taking?
I'm actually building a course on mastering mind mastery. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Well, you're right on track.
Okay.
And do you like projects? Do you like creating projects?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is you learning to come into your power with this dragon 9 energy and use that power to make a decision to follow the flow of spirit, not the path of the ego, and to let go all past life regrets you have for making what you thought was quite the wrong decision. It's about doing the best you can by following the flow of spirit to make the best decision you can in the time you have and with the resources you have. Okay? And not over-researching things and completing things, not procrastinating. This can say you can get 80% of the way through, then you want someone else to finish it off. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I am doing quite a bit of research for this program that I'm working on, but I can certainly see there has to be a balance between research and doing, so
yeah. So feel in your heart what the decision should be. Feel what is following the spiritual signature, what opens the heart the most. That's the soul talking to you. If feel in your heart, if you've got a choice of things to do, the soul will open the heart more, feel more expansive for the things which you aren't meant to do. It won't open, it will feel more closed. Because otherwise you could spend a lot more time on research than you really need to. Because the reason the ego is researching, because it wants to get it right.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And the soul destiny is about absorbing. Hi, Lisa. It's about absorbing, expanding knowledge, and communicating to the world. So you're here really as a teacher of like-minded people.
Absorbing what kind of knowledge? Sorry, you said there's a word you used. Just
spiritual knowledge, all sorts of spiritual knowledge. You're here to absorb it and expand it, and then teach it, communicate it to the world. You're here to teach in a center, showing people who they are, okay, with an open heart and pure service to them. That's why you were born, friend.
Thank you very much, Nicolas. That is extremely aligned to where I am right now. Extremely aligned.
Yeah, and that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Is that clear?
Unless you can give me some guidance on what is the way to do this. Is there like a better way for me to do this? Because I'm just putting it together digitally right now as a course. But can you see from the chart, is there a better modality that I can share this with? Is there anything like that?
What do you mean, medium communication?
Yeah, a better medium to share it with, yeah. Rather than just building a digital course.
Is it going to be a live course or just an online? It's going to be.
Yeah, it'll have live video of myself explaining some of the concepts, but it's going to be something that's online.
Okay. Tell me more about the course content, so I got some idea.
So the course content is so just to give you some background, like the way the world is right now, there's just so much turmoil everywhere that everyone is their stress levels are heightened, even though we have to carry out, we have to be parents, we have to be employees, whatever it is, run our businesses, but the stress levels are heightened. So the course is being designed to allow someone to understand their true reality, that they can still perform, they can still do all that they need to do, but not with that heightened level of stress, like feeling more within themselves and being able to do everything in a more easy, comfortable, joyous, loving way, and just live in a more joyous, loving way.
Okay. My sense is that you need to teach live as well.
Okay.
You need to come out of hiding from behind the digital platforms and show the true you. How does that sound?
Thank you. I've been told that a few times, so I probably need to do that. Yes. Thank you.
And then what you can do is use the video, the live training, as some of your material for the digital course, because the live transmission within a real audience you're interacting with is completely different to you just talking to the camera.
Correct. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I would go live and see how that goes.
Thank you, Nicolas. I deeply, deeply appreciate your time to do this for me today. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'd also say maybe live in person as well.
Sorry, live or like on a stage as opposed to on Zoom or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or live in a classroom.
Okay.
Have a group in a teaching space live and video that.
Okay.
Because that's really, you have to really show yourself, because the more you can practice live, the more you're going to show yourself, the better the transmission for your digital product.
Thank you.
Okay. And push your comfort zone. So you're at the edge of how safe you feel, because sevens can hide behind anything, never be seen. So you need to be successful, you need to actually show the real you with real people, I'd say. That's what I'm getting.
Thank you. Very true. Very true. Yeah. All of this is resonating 100%. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for bearing yourself. All right. Any questions? Yeah. Lisa, your name just changed. Is it Ashton or is it Lisa?
It's Ashton. I didn't get the Zoom link in time, so Lisa sent it over to me, and I just realized that I was under her name the whole time.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you made it. That's the main thing. Joseph has asked me, the single triangle happens when you have less than 10 Hebrew sounds. You can think of the goals, Joseph, as like soul destiny. Okay. Chinese names, Asian names tend to be shorter than 10 sounds. So they're very short and focused on 3 aspects, which are generic, karma, talents, and goals. There's not enough information to split them between physical and spiritual. So, yeah, it's a more focused experience. Okay. So when did you come in, Lisa? Ashton, when did you come in? I didn't quite. When did you actually land? What stage were we at?
I'm in Utah. I moved from Hawaii not too long ago, and I came into this whole chat right when you guys were doing introductions. So
Okay.
Sorry about that.
I just make sure, how much you got. Do you have any specific questions that you missed a little bit at the beginning, or you're okay?
I think I'm okay. I'm just trying, this aspect of everything that you're doing is new to me. I came across a YouTube video and was very intrigued by what was happening, but really didn't know anything about it. And so I think we signed up, Lisa and I both signed up for this webinar, I think like a month or so ago. And we've just been kind of excited trying to figure out a new tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. If you have any specific questions, we can take those now from anybody here, including you, or even the guys who are in the attendee room. So I just wanted to show how it practically works. So this is.
Hi, Nicolas. My name's Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine.
A little bit on the later side. I don't know why my my camera's not working.
I'll make you a panelist. Say yes to being a panelist, then you come to the panelist room, then the camera, you can switch the camera on. Okay, just wait for her to come back.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so you just need to switch the camera on now on the bottom left.
Yeah, I did that. I should be okay, perfect. So I see everyone. So
Okay,
awesome. Hello,
we can see you
everyone.
now. You're here, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Just wanted to say hi and that I discovered everything probably about in January. Once I read the full book in basically a day, I totally made a career change and aligned myself with what my passion was now that I found it. I mean, I always knew it, but your system gave me so much clarity, and I took a pay cut. I had 2 weeks less vacation. I like intentionally moved to this new job because I finally realized that I'm supposed to be in service of others. So it just totally and I ask God to take away people that are not aligned with me anymore. And I've just had such a transformation since figuring out what my soul contract has been. And it's been amazing and scary, but I just really am thankful for coming across everything and all the work that you do.
Yeah, it'll find you when you're ready. It's the way it works. It's like God comes to call, and there's no option but to engage, because it's going to be a better life eventually.
Yeah. So totally shifted everything for me.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other questions about the chart or any part of the work? Because this is, I've said what I wanted to say, just so you brings everyone up to the same level of how it works. Catherine?
I have a quick question regarding, you had said earlier, focusing. I tend to focus on things that anger me that I don't have much control over.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm spinning my wheels. So how would one switch focus? Or I'm not focusing on what I should be focusing on because I don't know what that is exactly. So how does one switch focus or stop focusing on the bad or the things that I can't really control or nothing's changing with, like people or circumstances?
Well, the ego is designed to focus on the negative. We're programmed that way to keep us separate and trapped in our contract. So it's about stepping back and saying, what is the positive reality that I want to create for my life? Because you can take that same amount of energy that's being wasted by the ego, stealing your energy, to create all the negative stuff. I mean, I had my head in my navel. That's what our America called it, for 40 odd years, till I realized I was creating all the negative stuff, because we're always in it. We don't, it's like a goldfish in a slowly warming tank of water. You don't know you're being cooked by your ego. And you step back, well, what do I actually want to create? You disengage from what the ego is trying to do and say, what's the bigger picture, what you wish to create? And you'll get a completely different answer to what the ego is wanting to do. And then what you do, if you start focusing on that, you're starving the ego of the energy, which is creating all the negative stuff. So what happens then, the negative stuff starts to go away, and you get more of the good stuff. You relapse regularly, and you realize, oh, I've got my head in my navel again. But after a while, you'll spend more and more time focusing on what you want, and your life will change radically, because it's all about your intention. Because remember, it's a subjective holographic matrix, and most of the time we're unconsciously creating it. As you become more conscious with this work, then you can decide, well, what do I want here? And if you heal the issues which are identified in each aspect, the aspects which are creating the stuff you don't like transmute your karma or activate a talent or achieve a goal, then your life will change. It takes time. Okay, it takes a whole lifetime, but you get to it a lot quicker this way, and you'll make more progress with it. Okay, so ask yourself, what do I want to create? What's the good stuff? Does that help?
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Okay, someone's asked me a question. Do you have time to look at more charts? Depends on the number of questions. Joseph, you got another question, have you? Or is that just your hand?
Oh, yes, it's related to healing. So, I mean, assuming the scenario where we have a verbal consent from someone and we do a soul contract reading, we map out their life, but at that point in time, this person is very low in terms of their energy in order to make any sort of progress. For us, maybe we are their loved one, their family. Is there any type of healing that we can do for them remotely without them, because they probably are not at a good space? Is there any type of healing that can be done to complement this part of spiritual ascension for them?
They have to consent to any healing because it's their journey. Okay, if we make a judgment of them, which is what it is, say you need healing, we may be interrupting the experience that vast multidimensional master who's gone to sleep is wanting to have. So it must always be consent, because they may need to do whatever they need to do, even though we don't like it, or it could be dangerous, or they could be very ill. Okay, they need to have that experience. Okay, you must always have consent. Because it's their free will choice, and we're interfering in their free will choice, even though we feel it could be good for them. As we wake up as light workers, what tends to happen is that we get into what we call heal, fix, save mode. Okay, does it sound familiar? Want to heal, fix, save everyone, including the world? Leave it be, because it has to have its experience. Okay. Remember, every being is a vast multidimensional master in different degrees of asleepness and awakening who are having a unique experience here on Earth. And it's only if someone asks you to help them move to the next level, then you have permission. Leave the rest. Better to put your effort into the people who do want to wake up. It's a lot less effort. You get a lot of grief otherwise, because ego will fight you because it doesn't want to. It doesn't want to wake up sometimes, and it wants to have some sometimes very severe experiences, as you guys have seen in the past 5 years. Some very serious stuff is happening on Earth, but the souls have chosen to have that happen because they need that for their growth, even though it can be excruciating from a human level when we watch what's going on. Okay, Jasmine, you got another question?
Yeah, so I have a 9-9 in my spiritual goals, and I really want to get more connected to source and like just going with my gut more. And I like since December I got off all my medication, so I feel way more connected. And sometimes I'll ask people questions and I'll hear the answer before they say it, and that's only been happening recently. So how can I nurture that more? Is that, what is the 9-9 in spiritual goals? Like, how can I nurture that more?
The first reaction in your body comes to you. What you're doing is your channel's open because you're off your medication, is the correct answer. So you're plugging into your spiritual channel very strongly. And it's about trusting the power of your soul, the knowledge of your soul, because it will always be right. You notice how it's always right if you trust that first thing that came to you?
I'm listening more now. I guess I'm noticing it more now. So I'm trying to be like not second guess it. Like, is that I just said that in my head. How did I know that, or why did I even ask that? Because maybe I already knew the answer. I don't know.
Yeah, well, your channel is open because you're off your medication. Your channel is opening because medication tends to. What sort of medication was it, if I can ask?
It was an antidepressant.
Yeah, well, that just freezes all the energy bodies, especially the emotional bodies. So it means you can't feel. Now you can feel the answer coming to you from the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So the power of the 9 is about the power of the channel as well, not just energetic or physical power. It's the power of knowledge coming through you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thank you.
trust it because it's right. Okay. All right. Okay. Caroline. If you want to switch the video on, you can just say yes to coming over, or just you can just talk away. We've got a picture of you though. She's going to come over. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, how would you decipher if you have the same number in your physical karma and then your physical talent? Like I pulled a chart for my friend, and so she's pulling an 8 in both of these. So her karma is the same as her talent. So because you can experience the negative aspect of this number, would it be she could have like double the negative aspect, but then her 8, I don't know, it's kind of hard to decipher.
No, I'll explain to you.
Okay.
Let me find the whiteboard. All right, so say the numbers again. It was an 8 in
8
physical karma, and an 8 in
physical talent. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so just want to wait for this whiteboard to load. We'll get to you next in a minute, Melanie. It's a bit slow, this thing. It's going to let me draw it. Oh, here it comes. Something's happening. Okay, so in physical karma, PK physical karma is an 8-8. And in physical talents is the other 8-8. Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the positive 8, which is about grounding. This is the negative expression. Doesn't mean it's bad, just it's the karmic aspect of an 8. It's about learning to ground. So this physical talent 8 is called the fulcrum of the talents. This will help the positive energy will overcome the negative energy much faster. It's a perfect match working it through. So your friend will learn to ground much quicker because this physical talent 8 is helping him. So it's a good match. So it's actually not double, it's about probably half the effort. Okay, then if she didn't have this 8 here in talents, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Does that help?
Yeah, no, that helps because I guess from when I was reading, I guess I thought no matter where the number is, you can still experience a negative aspect, even if it's in your talent, because
yes, you
your
can
talents
to a degree. Yeah, you can to a degree initially when you're younger. Yeah.
Initially, right? Because I assume, a lot of time your talent is latent in life, right? It comes later. So that's why I wasn't sure if it would be considered like double negative or
No.
no. Okay.
This means the soul's very organized. That's what.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, Melanie. You have to unmute.
Hi. So this is kind of a two-part question. One is, can you determine karmic relationships between two people? And also just wanted to ask about the law of opposites because it seems sometimes that people will say like, oh, you attracted this snake in your life because for some reason that you're like-minded. But I do feel like there's a law of opposites for some, and I don't know much about it. So I was happy to hear you say that.
Okay, so start with the first question. Most relationships are karmic for learning. Okay, pretty much all of them. Have to learn very specific lessons, and we cover that stuff. That's called a relationship overlay reading. We cover that in our level 2 training. Level 1 training, as I described earlier, just learning how to do a birth chart reading, a very good birth chart reading, and understanding what the 22 numbers mean, the essence of them, And then we build upon that with a level 2 training where we look at what are all the hidden interactions between you and all the important people in your life, friends and family and partners. So the nature of that karmic relationship is what we teach in level 2, or you receive in a relationship overlay reading. And it's a different set of principles than what you learn, what you've seen in the book. Okay. You can't work that out from the book. The book is only designed for birth readings. I tried to write a second book. I got quite a way through it, the structure, but I realized it was too complicated to explain in a book. It has to be done live to understand how it works, because it's a 5-fold increase in complexity at least. But if you've learned the baseline work with level 1, how to give a good birth chart reading, then those principles is a good foundation for learning how to explain relationships, because people, once they've understood their birth reading, the next question they will say, okay, what about my family and my friends? I want to understand how we all work together, which is a very big question. Okay, does that help on that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that really clarifies it. Thank you.
Okay, so just say the second question, half of the question to me again about
The law of opposites. Because a lot of people lean on the law of attraction for everything, but I feel like there's a law of opposites, and I saw you mentioned it, so I just want to hear what you had to say about it.
Well, basically, initially in life, if we're trying to focus on what we want, we'll get the opposite. I'll give an example. I had to buy a car, and I had to buy another car, and I had a very clear idea on the model I wanted and the sort of mileage and sort of value I wanted to pay. And I would get all these terrible ones on the websites, on the online websites here in England. They're really to the point which is a wreck sitting in the back of a warehouse, and they were trying to sell it. And then I knew as it got worse and worse that I was very close, because I understood the law of opposites. So I kept focusing on this model of car in very pristine condition. And the next one I got shown me on the internet when I got home was in perfect condition. It was complete opposite of the wrecks I was being shown, and I bought it the next morning because I persisted. So often when the law of opposites runs, we turn away from things thinking, oh, it's not working, but we've got to keep going because it means you're getting closer. The gateway is open to what you desire. The universe is saying, do you really want this? Are you going to stay focused on what you really want or desire? Okay, so does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. It's like your karmic pattern staring your feet. Do you want to come into your power? Do you want to come into your worthiness? If you do, keep going, burning through the pattern. You will go through that gateway and it'll start to turn up. Even though your mind doesn't quite believe it's going to happen, it will. If you persist. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Any other questions, people? Make the most of me because I'm hard to get hold of. So, and just put your mic on or put your hands up. Catherine, you're looking like you're gonna make a speech bubble, or you're not quite sure. No? Okay. I'll continue on the slides then. So we're nearly finished here. Where are my slides? Here it is. It's all right, the chat message, what was that? Okay, so the book is a good place to start, Ashton. Okay, you can let me just help you there. Hang on. All right, so just going back a little bit. So if you wanted to generate your chart using the software, you go to soulcontractreader.com. Okay, that's where you can generate your chart for free. Okay, so write that down. If you want to find out what it means, the book Your Soul Contract Decoded goes to great depths of what that chart means. Okay. Okay, so that's the most cost-effective way of doing it. But what people were saying to me is that after they worked out their own name and say, look, I've got 10 other people close to me. I want to work their charts out, but I don't want to have to go to the book 10 times. It's going to take me ages. I understand how it works now. Can I just press a button? I just need the output of that book. So we produced the next version of the software. If you go to yoursubcontractreport.com, if you want it in a hurry, you can just enter your name, and and my team will generate your chart and generate up to 140-page report for you based upon the book. So it saves you a lot of time. So that's the other reason, especially people who want to do their whole family. Okay, that's what they go and use. So you can get the PDF, which explains everything about everyone. Okay, using that. That's why we developed that. Okay, so the other two ways to get there. This is if you really want to go deep. Okay, the book has a lot of spiritual philosophy about how I approach things, and we incorporate some of that. The report here is mainly the content of the interpretations plus an explanation of how it works. Okay, so if you're wanting to learn how to do this work, okay, what happens here is that let's finish off for today. Just got to clear this. If you want to learn this work, which I know some of you are, you're a therapist, counselor, coach, or facilitator of some sort, it gives you the spiritual map of your clients' lives. So you have an immediate and profound understanding of their issues. So nothing will be hidden. It's a very accurate guide as you work with them. It builds trust immediately, and it produces better and faster results. Okay, and you can build all your other therapies around this, the understanding of someone's soul contract. Some of my practitioners who are teachers, they generate their charts, look at all these students, so they know exactly what's going on before they even walk in the room. So if you're interested in learning this, basically it gives a structure to understand yourself and everyone else, and you'll be able to give readings based upon people's birth names through interpreting the energies of the 22 letters, and we help you develop your channel very powerfully to do this. Just adding on to what I said at the beginning. It's purely experiential learning through immersion in the interpretations, because it's a bodily transmission, as I said earlier. So you become the work, essentially. You remember how to do this. And we don't stop at the training. We have ongoing professional development with a Facebook peer-to-peer support group with all the other practitioners. It's about nearly 300. Some have been doing this for 20 years. We also have ongoing Zoom support programs, additional paid-for programs to help you get the work out into your practice and into the world. Okay. And you'll be able to give people a deep feeling of peace from readings, a feeling of relief that there's actually an order to their life, and they can move out of, if they're in a place of feeling like a victim of life, they can take charge and actually begin to live their purpose in life from wherever they are. Okay. Let's have a look here. Okay. So you'll learn to show people where they are on that spiritual map of life and take them from that point, and they can basically give them targeted recommendations so they can overcome those challenges and move forward. And the most important thing is aligning them to their soul purpose. Most people never get aligned to that, and then they can get on with it. And basically it leads them to touching people at a very deep level with this truth. Because once you've heard your reading, as some of you know, you can never go back to being asleep. You're able to a deeper level of yourself and connection to others and more compassion for people in doing this work. It's magical. It's still magical for me even 34 years on. Okay, so you'll be preparing, giving readings in the group if you decide to come, so you can actually start delivering them shortly after the training with a bit of practice. Okay, so we aim to get you out there in the world. And our autumn training is running 2nd to the 4th, so that's the first 3 days of bodily transmission, and over a day off to have a break. You really need it. And the 6th to 7th of October is the practice sessions. And we run from 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK time. So it means in Pacific time, it's 4:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. It's better than flying, which is what people used to do. And it's 1:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. European time. So we do this because I can't teach beyond 8:30 UK time. It means we cover from California out to Russia, basically. Sometimes people come from India or even further for this. Whoops. We jumped. And the fee is £718, about $840 approximately. And if you're interested in coming, you can reserve your place here. The deposit of £277 or about $330 US. And you can find out more by going to soulcontractreadingtraining.com to get into more depth of what the training is about. Okay, so we run it for this time period twice a year. This is run it in spring and in autumn. Okay, so this will be the last one until about March next year. Okay, if you're interested in coming. Okay, so if you have any questions about the training, fire away. Okay, or you can email us later if you think of things. Catherine?
Quick question regarding the names in the soul contract, because I was discussing with a friend who's working with one of your former students, and she suggested she change her name to balance out the numbers. And my friend didn't like the new name. So my question is, do you consider all the names we were ever called? For instance, like if I used to go by Kathy when I was little, or Katerina, or a nickname. Would you recommend you put all the names you were ever called into the generator? And also, when you do say, well, change your name, optimize it to something better, does that mean you go to the courthouse and change your name, or change it on everything? Or is it just on Facebook?
Let's deal with the first bit. In level 2, we teach name optimization because each of us has an optimal name that will help us work through our karmic and goal aspects and manifest our soul destiny in our birth chart. It's an art form which we teach in level 2. So it's where we get clear on the objectives we set in life, and we ask higher consciousness to open us up to that name. And a practitioner who's trained in it co-creates with the client to access that name, which is already inside them. And when they hear that name, they have a remembrance. That's the true me. Okay. So if your friend didn't like it, it means it's not optimized. It means you have to like the name a lot. If you don't like it, it's not the right name. So the process is still in progress then. Okay. That's the way that works. And once you get the optimal name, what you do is you try it on, test drive it for a while in common usage, and if you like it, then you do the legal stuff. Okay, it's different in each state in America. You do the legal stuff, then you change things. Change your passport, bank details. That's a big hassle. So you got to make sure it's right. It takes time. It took me 18 months to change my name because it's an energetic shift each time you do it. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay.
So that is what happens then, like your life's gonna change, or the numbers get canceled out somehow, or?
Well, it helps you work through it more gracefully, and it helps you work through what's in your birth chart, but it also helps you create the reality of what your free will choice wants, because you got to set clear goals for the practitioner have some means of assessing which is the optimal name that's going to help you achieve your goals. So basically, you get a better life. I mean, I changed mine in 2008. And I went from a place of being a single parent, barely paying the bills, to now having a global teaching business. Well, actually having 3 businesses. Okay, 2 global businesses and an investment business. So that's what I'm doing now, sort of 14 years later. My life has radically changed because of that name. Okay, so you basically create a completely different reality. So you create the reality you desire, as I was saying earlier, focus on what you want to create. This is actually how you program what you want to create. That's what we're actually doing. Okay. And also breaking free of all the karmic stuff from the birth name.
And you just tell everyone, this is what I'd like to be called, and this is what I go by.
Yeah.
And you say, so do you factor in nicknames or shortened names? Would you say?
You don't, we teach that in training, you don't use nicknames or shortened names.
You
It's a
never
whole,
do.
it's a whole process to get to the right name. It's an art form which we teach, but you will come up with the right name that the soul has decided upon already, because it'll feel like your true self. It'll be like so obvious once you've got it. But that's level 2 though. So come on level 2. Come on level 2, Catherine. You can learn how to do it.
To do it. If she had said she was choosing names, but they weren't,
Well, it wasn't being done properly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had she learnt level 2?
She's working with a practitioner that did it.
Yeah, well, it means they're not quite there. They're in the intermediate. They're in the intermediate stage if she doesn't like the name.
That's what I figured.
That's what it means. So it's work in progress.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Time's up, guys. Is there a max capacity for level 2? Normally about 30. But we could probably go higher. We're in the 20s already. So if you want to come, you need to book your place. Because I think we'll hit 30 a lot quicker. Don't leave it to the last minute the way things are going at the moment. Okay, if you want to come. Okay. Is there a combined cost for all 3 levels in US dollars? Yes, we have a package. Let me find it for you. We started doing packages because people started asking us for it. So we didn't used to do these things, but because we realized people wanted to, once you start this work, people want to do the whole thing often. So I'm just loading up the website. I'll share it in a minute once it's loaded, and I'll show you. Okay, so just got to find the right place. Where is it? Okay, so I will share the screen. If you need to go because we're over time, thank you for coming, but I'm just going to talk a bit longer, seeing someone's asked me this question. And the video will go out probably later in the week. Depends when we get to it. So it's gone too far. Hang on, I pressed the wrong button. Something's coming. Just need to go back to the training here. So go back to the training here. Okay. So the package for all 3 levels is the following. The Western Hemisphere training, 2nd to 4th, 6th to 7th of October. This is a normal 718 price, but if you guys are interested in doing the lot, which a lot of people are, we've introduced these packages. If you want to do all 3 levels, the total cost is £1,714. Oh, why is it doing that? Okay. This is a new thing they've put in. Okay. This is not working very well, is it? I don't actually want this thing up. How do I turn this off? Okay. It's a 10% discount off of £188 or approximately $240. So in US dollars, that would look like, let's find my calculator. Grab a calculator. I'll get one out. Hang on. Got to find the calculator. Here it is. So in US dollars, 1714 times 0.81 So in US dollars, it's about 1,400 US dollars. Okay, if you want to go to all three levels. Okay, you can just see them, the different combinations there. We put them up because people were asking for different things that they were thinking about doing. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Any other questions before we go, guys? Thank you for your time. Thank you for great engagement. Hopefully see you on the track.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Take care. All right. Bye.